What's up, everybody? Justin Conico here, and you've seen a lot of the stuff that I've been posting online, right, about this industry syndicate. I've had people reaching out to me locally, nationally, people that we have that are, in other countries asking us, first of all, saying it's really cool because they don't understand what it is, but then asking for more details, wanting to know who's involved, how did this happen, and to be quite frank with you, it's pretty interesting. If you look at all of the news networks, the typical media that we've all consumed coming up, it was very much top-down controlled, right? You couldn't get a show on TV unless you knew somebody, couldn't get a movie published unless you knew somebody. That's gone, right? If you look online now, anybody and their brother can put up a podcast or anything and basically be their own news source. But the group of people that we have at this industry syndicate is a real example of the fact that there's levels to this game, right? And it came together organically. Like, I'm looking down the screen. You can't see it right now because it's on my screen, but I'm looking at the names of the people that are involved here, and these are people that I've known organically and I've had friendships with for years. Some people, 5+ years. Some people online only. I'm talking like Jason, Dustin, Chelsea. There are people that know Jazzy. I've known you personally for years, where we've always just run our businesses, right? And we've helped each other in different facets. I've had conversations with everybody here about different things at different times. Hey, what works in your market? What works in your market? But we're all still high achievers going after it and just having fun doing it. And this came together, again, organically, where we said, well, why don't we get together all these different industry heads and put the podcasts that we think really are doing good work in our community, are doing it for the right reasons, and aren't really looking for an end game of just getting you to click on something to sell you some course that's not really going to give you any value. We're trying to introduce you to personalities that you're likely going to connect with and learn a lot from. Like, I think of the podcasts in this and even the ones that I've met since being involved, and already I'm going down these wormholes where I need to restrict the amount of time that I'm spending to my driving and whatnot, because I could spend all day watching these guys. So I'm not going to really delay any longer. These are all very, very busy people, so I'm very thankful that they're all here on this Screencast, Sharecast, whatever you want to call it, at the same time. And I'm going to go down the list and kind of chat about who these people are and let them introduce themselves to you. And then I'm going to link everything in the video below. You can go share, follow, comment, tell them how you found them, go on their Instagram, their YouTube's podcast. It's going to be gold. You're going to want to know these people. So I'm going to start off with Fraser. He's one of the co-founders of the Agent Marketer and the Wise Agent podcast. So Fraser, I've known you through the Snap Pack. Actually, before the Snap Pack was even formed, we knew each other on Snapchat, and it was you, Chelsea, Dustin, a few other people, and there was some great interactions, and I loved watching you kind of grow into who you are today, and I really see how you dialed it in, right? Like, I mean, even over the last couple of years, you're a ninja at what you do, and we don't have loan officers in Canada. So you're in the States, we're in Canada, we have mortgage agents, or we have banks that we go direct to. And I know you kind of went from that field into a new field. Why don't you give us a little synopsis about who you are and what your show is all about? Your mic is muted, so just hit that little red button there.
So I guess I'm not the ninja you made me out to be. But now that I'm unmuted, thank you for the intro, Justin. It's been awesome knowing you for as long as we have. Definitely on Snapchat. And then watching you, man, I mean, same thing. Is watching you do what you're doing and leveling up year after year and doing more stuff. So that's awesome. So I'm just happy that you're part of what, we're building collectively, all of us here with the Syndicate. But yeah, I'm a co-founder of the Agent Marketer, also the Chief Marketing Officer for Wise Agent. I have the Agent Marketer podcast along with the Agent Marketer Flash, which are both mine and Wise Agent's podcast. But the Agent Marketer is really just about coaching and training the modern agent, right? So We're talking real estate, we're talking loan officers, but really it's about just kind of shedding the old way of doing things, or at least the mentality that that's the way we did it and that's the way it's always going to be. But being comfortable with doing everything that we used to do to get attention and reach with consumers has become less and less effective. So one of the things that we wanted to do with the Syndicate is bring the people together that actually understand what's happening in the industry, understand where we need to be in order to get the attention of the modern consumer, and understanding like it's only going to get quicker, for better, for worse, whatever side of the argument you are with social media and marketing and everything else. That's the way we're going. We're never going back, and we're finally there as a culture, as a society, to be comfortable with living that online life. Doing taxes, banking, ordering food. Everything is online, on demand, self-service, and our industry has to adapt to serve that consumer, and we just haven't. We've all relied on these tired old associations that tell us that, oh, we should just kind of make a better mousetrap, as opposed to blowing it up and recreating it from the ground up. And so everyone that is part of the syndicate has that same mentality, that same vision, that same mission to do something different. And so that's what I do. And again, just happy to be along with a lot of like-minded people like you guys.
That's awesome, and that's putting it mildly too. So if you're following Jason online, you'll see he's a pretty big industry advocate, and he's out there putting himself out there, even going up against Instagram right now and the bots. And hopefully, I don't see any helicopters flying outside your window to come get you. But if we get it, we got it on video, and we will find you, and we will save you. So next up, we got Phil Treadwell. So Phil, this is actually the first time that we're meeting online. He's a co-founder of the mortgage marketing expert, area manager in Highlands Residential Mortgage. So give us a little rundown about what you do, who you are, and how you kind of fit into the industry syndicate.
Awesome. Hey, Justin, I appreciate it. You giving us a few minutes to chat here. So my name is Phil Treadwell. I'm the Vice President Area Manager for Highlands Residential Mortgage. I am based in Dallas, Texas, and I manage branches in Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, kind of that corridor in there. Also the founder and host of Mortgage Marketing Expert, which is a podcast. We also have an Alexa flash briefing. Essentially, the way that my marketing journey unfolded is I'm a 15-year sales and marketing veteran in the industry. I started out as an originator. I've managed branches. I've owned a company.
Cool.
I've managed regions. I've done pretty much everything on the sales and marketing side of mortgage origination. And over the last few years, as I've seen, marketing evolve, social media, digital, all of the platforms that we all love and use to this day, I saw that mortgage and real estate industry, specifically mortgage industry, was really far behind the rest of the world. We were in the dark ages a little bit. And part of that is because, as we all know, the mortgage industry has a very high average age of loan officer. It's somewhere in the mid-50s. And so people were just used to doing it one way. Obviously, for most people, that's not your target demographic when it comes to digital and social media and those types of things. And so the podcast was really a content play. I put out content on a daily basis, a mortgage marketing tip of the day through Instagram, created a following, and then spun that into a podcast where we interview industry experts that can give firsthand experience and real knowledge as to what can help originators go out and build their business. And through that, was able to meet guys like Jason and Dustin and Chelsea and everybody, Josh. And, we just kind of locked arms and realized philosophically we were all on the same page in what we wanted to do to not only further our respective corner of the industry, but to really add value. And I think that that's the cool thing about the syndicate as a whole is everyone here is not only trying to build their brand, but everyone's trying to help other people build their brand, is trying to add value. And I think that that's really what the theme is throughout, most of these people. I know them all and have met, quite a few, through the recent formation of the syndicate. But at the end of the day, this is about putting out great content. It's about seeing where we want the industry to be and playing our part in getting there, and really just trying to lock arms with like-minded people, as Jason said, and really push forward what we see the industry to be able to be, whether that's, real estate, sales, whether that's mortgage, title, all of the, corners of the industry that we see can happen. And so, I'm just blessed and honored to be part of this and contribute in a small way. And I'm looking forward to continuing to meet other folks that believe the same way we do and keep pushing this whole thing forward.
That's awesome. I appreciate the synopsis too, because again, it's just, I'm looking at the faces, I'm hearing you talk, and we're all talking the same language. And I mean, it's something that we've all come to just going through and walking our own paths, where we enter these super competitive landscapes with a non-competitive mindset. And I mean, really, we're forcing ourselves to even go a step further, right? And collaborate and share with a community of people, things that have maybe gotten us to where we are today, but acknowledging the fact that things are changing in our industry. Like Jason said, right? We're not going backwards. It is going to be a lot more collaborative. It is about community building. And I love that this idea came together, especially going into 2019, because I feel like there's something in the air. I can smell it. You know, normally it takes like 2 weeks to on-ramp back into 2019. People aren't even here. I remember like last Friday, all the killers in the industry that I know were back at it and working and, you know, working on ideas. Dustin, we were laughing about the fact that I think I was doing a Facebook lead ad on like a Saturday night. I'm like, am I a crazy person for doing this? And you're like, no, it actually makes sense that we're all those types of people, right? Like Chelsea and I were talking earlier about always wanting to provide value, and she'll talk a second about kind of some of the stuff she does. But we were laughing about how so much so that if somebody ever feels like they're not getting value, we'd go wash their car on a Saturday at 4:00, right? We want so badly that for them to be acknowledged as the people that are getting the information from the network. And I think it's very similar. Everybody in this group, they all have the same mindset. So we're going to jump on to Dustin Brome next. Dustin, your mic is muted first. Dustin is the leader, he's the founder and creator of the Massive Agent podcast, probably one of the best podcasts I've listened to, real estate related. He's a real estate agent out of Salt Lake City, Utah, owns multiple websites, has a great mind for, you know, going to where the puck's, or being where the puck is going and reaching consumers in a different facet, community building, everything I was just talking about. I'll let you riff a little bit more, but he's a beast. You're definitely going to want to check his stuff out.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that more than you know. You said something a minute ago that's super interesting, how we're entering one of the most competitive industries out there with non-competitive mindsets or non-competitive approaches. That's 100% true. And what's funny with the industry syndicate is we're taking it a step further where it's a collaborative approach, where we're all just like teaming up together, collaborating and helping each other in this crazy competitive industry, which is interesting. But because things have changed, I think the pendulum is flying to the other side, where if you're not collaborating, if you're not linking arms, you're going to be left behind. You're going to be beat by those who are collaborating. Competitors who are linking arms are going to beat you. So it's super interesting the way you worded that. I like that. So the way this all started was, well, first, real quick. So I'm an agent in Salt Lake City. I've been an agent for like 8 years. The first 4 years were just like bad, like struggling, couldn't pay my bills. You know, the deals were few and far between because my models, my mentors that I got into the industry with, they were doing things that I sucked at or that didn't align with my personality. Door knocking, cold calling, direct mail, you know, like walking up to somebody in a grocery store with your freaking name tag on, like, hey, have you ever thought about buying or selling a house?
Amazing.
That's who my mentor was. I love the guy, but that's not me. I hate that. And so I sucked at it. And you know, when you suck at something, or when you hate something, you suck at it and you're not good at it. You know, it's just, so you're going to starve. I started going down this rabbit hole of content marketing, social media marketing, about 4 years ago-ish. And I started with blogging and, you know, started putting out some content, and that led to video. And then I had to learn how to promote the content that I just created. Because just creating it is just one part. Like, you can create the best video ever, but if no one sees it, it may as well not exist. You have to learn how to get people to see it. And so it goes hand in hand. Create the content, promote it. And I started doing that, and I realized I have a talent for that. I can do this. And so Frazier, Chelsea, and myself, and Shannon Milligan, we started a Facebook group called the Snap Pack, 3.5 years ago. Grew it to like 3,500 agents in the U.S. and Canada, and they just kind of wanted to learn what we were doing in our businesses. Mm-hmm. And we started sharing it. And, you know, fast forward, I launched the podcast a year ago, you know, met a lot of you guys through, you know, trying to like continue to do the next thing and build on the next piece. And it's brought us to this industry syndicate. So the quick story on that is Frazier and I were at a Utah Jazz basketball game where they got absolutely freaking destroyed. It was terrible game. But we had this discussion about this media network and what it would look like. And originally I was like, I'm going to do the Massive Agent Network, just thinking about real estate agents. And Frazier got me thinking bigger. It was his idea to think, why don't we just do it for the whole damn industry? Like, why just for agents? Let's do it for the whole industry. And it's like, yes. And then I reached out to you because I know you're doing something big, Justin. And Justin introduced me to Jazz and what you guys have going on in Canada. And Fraser with Phil and Fraser's mortgage connections. We grew this thing to the shows we have now, and just the traction that we've had in the last 3 or 4 days is crazy.
Yeah,
this is going to be big, and I think it's because we're taking the best shows out there with this new school mentality, and saying, hey guys, if you want to know what really works right now, here's a collection of people who know. Go to this one source, find the information you need from the host that you resonate with most. And here we are. And I think this is going to be massive.
I'm pretty pumped. And it's funny, I was actually having a discussion this morning with somebody that's in that podcast ecosystem. And I mean, we've all been following podcasts for a long time. It's amazing how nowadays it's so cluttered, right? There's so much out there. Everybody and their brother, Uncle Jimmy's got a podcast. And what it is, it's almost like a buffet line, right? Where you literally, people will walk in, they'll taste little pieces of everything that they're getting. And sometimes they'll find one that's amazing. They'll eat the whole bowl of soup and they won't have any videos left. And they'll be like, oh, where do I go? And they want somebody that is similar to that type of person, right? Like I've gone down rabbit holes on YouTube where I watch 150 videos of somebody completely obsessed about a topic, and then they've got nothing left, and I want something else. So the industry syndicates that, and I like that you guys decided to do more than just real estate agents. Although real estate agents, we love ourselves, and we like to see ourselves on signs and business cards, and we can get into that topic another time. Getting the concepts of other industries, I find, is one of the best ways to grow your business. Look at other industries for ways on developing tactics and strategies, like stuff. I'm excited to learn about the mortgage industry because I'm sure there's some stuff client service wise that I can apply to what I do as a realtor. And I think anybody watching this needs to realize that it doesn't matter if you're roasting coffees, you're a shoe cobbler, all of these principles will apply to a wide variety of industry because essentially it's client service at the end of the day, marketing, and then actually taking a look at your business, right? And I think all of you guys offer that in spades. I'm going to stop talking. Like I said, I like to talk. Jazz Takar is up next. Jazz, I have known you forever, my man. I love you. Jazz is the top. He's actually the third placed broker in all of Canada for Royal LePage. That is saying something. Royal LePage is one of the largest companies in all of North America, let alone Canada. And Jazz is producing at an insanely high level. Agent out of Toronto. I'm not going to spoil it. He is the goods. You're definitely going to want to follow his stuff. One of the best personalities I've seen. I love that you're digging into this video stuff. I mean, the lineup of people you've interviewed has been sick already. And I see you going all in. We were on a call like an hour ago talking about what you're doing with your team. I mean, you talk about somebody that's all in on video and value. Jazz is the man.
Justin, thank you so much, buddy. I want to start there for putting this all together and having this team here today. So thank you for that, my friend.
Yeah, my man.
So I've been at this real estate game now for coming up to, this is year number 14. About 10 years ago, we started a team, myself and my partner. So we have a team of about 20 realtors now that cover kind of the Southern Ontario market. And about 8 months ago, we decided to start the podcast. And so it's REC Experience is the name of the podcast. And we're going into season 3. And so the first season was really focused on just the know-hows of real estate, how to buy a home, how to sell a home. We really, like from day one, we took the angle of giving away all the trade secrets. So we essentially tell people how to buy their own home, how to sell their own home, if they want to go down that route, how to think about investing. And then season 2, with our executive producer, Laura Stewart, we sat down and we decided to branch out a little bit more. And I couldn't have said it any better than you did in terms of learning from different industries. And we branched it out to other entrepreneurs, being one of my own personal passions, just the whole personal development side of things, as well as, again, learning from other entrepreneurs. And so season 2, we really went heavy on not only speaking with industry experts from the real estate perspective, but all entrepreneurs. I mean, we had people on that just started a clothing company, and literally he started 3-4 months before we spoke to him, and him just talking about the ups and downs. Like everyone on this call today, we know that there's a lot of downs in entrepreneurship, and if you don't have the stomach for it, you should consider maybe something else. But if you can get past that hurdle, and everyone we speak with from an entrepreneurship perspective, they all say the same thing. If you can get past the first few hurdles, there's a lot out there. The world can essentially be yours. So we're on to season 3 now, and thank you for saying, you know, our results. We really appreciate that. We have a very strong team. Again, we're on season 3 that comes out in a couple of days now. And look, I got the call from yourself and Dustin a couple of weeks ago talking about the Syndicate, and like when I grow up, I want to be like you, Justin. So
easy, Tiger.
There was no doubt I was going to join this. I never met Dustin, and the second we got on the call, I was like, damn, this guy's just like us.
Yeah.
Like, he's really all about giving the value. And then I got on that call with the rest of the people here, and now I'm dubbing the Industry Syndicate as the dream team of podcasters. And I knew really quickly, I need to get with these guys because I'm going to learn so much. And Justin, from our talks, I'm watching things that Jason's doing, that Dustin's doing, that Phil's doing, and you know that David's doing, Josh is doing, Chelsea's doing, and I'm learning so much, which inevitably is going to bring so much value to my listeners, and vice versa. And so I am so excited. I just can't wait till, you know, I know there's an email that was going around within our group that, you know, we had someone who went to the website and listened to all of our podcasts and subscribed. Like, there's nothing better than that, where, again, you said it, it's that buffet line. You might like my style or you might not, but I hope you like Dustin's or Josh's or yours, Justin. And so for us to give that to the market, it's amazing, and thank you to the founders, and thanks for having me on. I'm so excited about the Industry Syndicate, man.
You're a beautiful man, and I think that, you know, what you're saying is indicative of where this is heading, where not only is the content, you know, there's a lot of reciprocity that happens between each other. Like the stuff that I see online. Chelsea, I was watching something about you on Instagram stories the other day, and I was late at night, I was working, and I ended up Googling it and then going through the whole process of implementing it into my business. And it's these little tidbits that you get, and then you also get inspired by the people you're around, because maybe I wake up and I'm tired, and then I see Dustin killing it, or I see Jazz just release something else, or I watched a whole bunch of Josh's episodes the other day, and I didn't even know you before the Syndicate, and I'm like, man, like, that energy level that you bring to the table, I think about it when I'm doing things, when I'm in appointments and everything else. So I think all our shows are going to get better just by attrition of being in that same ecosystem. So next up, one of my favorite people that I've met online, Chelsea. We met each other on Snapchat a couple of years ago. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to ruin it, but give us your origin story if you were Spider-Man and you got bit by a radioactive spider.
That's awesome. Thank you for the intro. So unfortunately, I don't have anything as cool as Spider-Man and Spidey senses. I've been in the industry in real estate for almost 20 years. I just counted that up the other day. I was a real estate agent for over 10 years. I was in the great, awesome market where if you fogged a mirror, you were buying 4 houses. And then I lived through the crash where I lost my job, lost my income, and all of my properties. So seen it all, done it all, been there before social media existed. So I did much more of the traditional marketing method. And now I am currently the National Director of Social Sales for Fidelity National Financial and all of their brands. And I spend my days coaching internally to teach our teams what the value is of social media, what the unfair advantage of these platforms are, and how we can create relatable and human brands that attract our clients and do sales for good, not evil, so to speak. What I'm passionate about is really the science and psychology of social media. So I have a very narrow niche that I think will complement everybody else's podcast here. I focus really primarily on the why. Why is it that these platforms are creating relationships and communities? Why is it that all of us who some of us have never met feel like we are friends? And we are in fact friends, and there is no such thing as in real life. So my podcast is called The Voice of Social Sales. I also have a flash briefing on Lexi. And you'll hear from me kind of, fast-paced information about what's really happening with social media, how you can leverage it to build a brand, how you can leverage it for sales. I break down hard concepts and make them easy to understand. So that's my Spidey power, is taking the hard things and making them easy. I do consider myself a practitioner. I like to give actionable stuff. People who follow me on the socials and stories will really get to know me and who I am, and hopefully they'll feel like it's a good mix of entertainment but also education.
Couple key points there. If you're actually using social platforms, right, and you're not keeping up to date as to what they're doing and why they're doing it, that's one thing I have gotten from a lot of your stuff is Instagram releases an update. I've been busy. I can't get to it. I pop on one of your stories like, hey, FYI, they just did this. This is why they did it. It might suck. It might not. This is how you use it. Very tangible, very tactile. And I will say Chelsea has a pretty cute kid with an awesome haircut that she posts on a pretty frequent basis. So go follow her stuff. You'll definitely get a kick out of that. Next up, we got David Greenspan from Mindshare 101 and host of the Mindshare podcast. David's Greenspan, give us the lowdown. Who are you and what do you do?
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. And I am just jacked to be here with this awesome group of people. This has been a really exciting past couple of weeks. Like, I know when Fraser reached out to me a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago, and he's like, dude, you got no choice. And I mean, me and Fraser, he's like, you got no choice. I'm not telling you, or I'm not asking you, I'm telling you, this is what you got to do. And typically when Fraser starts speaking tech, you go, I'm listening, I'm here, I'm just going to do, because the man knows exactly what he's talking about. But yeah, this is cool stuff. I mean, I came to this thing without a podcast, and I've been doing the video thing. If anybody's seen Mindshare 101, they're typically like literally 60-second videos, enough that I could fit it on Instagram. I can talk really, really, really fast and give you a message, get the hell out of Dodge. But the whole point is to really jack people up and get them thinking about stuff. And where it all came from is I don't sell real estate. I'm not selling mortgages. The reality is I got licensed to do both, and I never went down that road. The only reason I did that licensing was to really understand what is my audience facing every single day. What did they do from the education perspective? What did they learn from education? And what did they not learn, right? What didn't they pick up on? And one thing I can tell you from both of those courses was there's a lot of background of the legalities, of the paperwork, of the whatever, what to do when you get to the table.
Yeah.
But there's a fundamental part they're missing. Like, how the hell do you get to the table?
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, this is where I try to come in. And it's like, I've been dealing with the keep in touch process or keep in touch part of people's businesses for this past 13 years, helping them stay in touch with their database, build that mind share, stay present in people's minds, and really be in the right place at the right time when you really don't know when that right place or right time are. Mm-hmm. And when I look at what I've been faced with in battling of trying to grow my business over the past 13 years, we've been facing these things called like Facebook and Instagram. And they're just these little combatants, sort of enemies out there, but they're not really enemies. These are allies. These are people that we want to work with and really leverage these platforms. Now, one thing that I find is that our audience wants to be there. They want to leverage it. They really want to take advantage, but a lot of them don't know where to get started on this stuff. And this could be anything. Like, we're talking video, we're talking voice, we're talking social, we're talking, you name it, trying to put content out there, trying to lead gen, right? Like, how many people jumped and got bots and got lead gen strategy set up without actually knowing how to tie that whole funnel together and how to support it properly. And so me being, from basically bottom line, being a sales guy back then and going, what is your problem, Justin? What are you facing? What's that challenge? And when you do enough sales courses, we know about digging for the need, right? So when they go, oh, well, I don't know. Well, why don't you know? What is it that's stopping you? Really trying to figure it out. And a lot of people come back to the fact they just don't know where to implement. They don't know how to implement it. And that's been my thing. I've been focused on helping people really figure it out. I've been focused on helping people really bust that sheep mentality of just keeping up with the Joneses and following because, Justin down the hall's doing it, so I may as well do it too. Yeah. No, stop. Let's figure out how this really works for you and what actually makes sense. Tech is definitely where it's at. And the wicked thing about this group here is that everybody has a very similar mindset. Yet, as you were already saying, like when you watch each and every single one of everybody's shows, and I've been doing my very best to catch up on everybody's podcast episodes and like videos, and there's a bunch of people here that I already know, which is awesome. For those of you that don't, it's like I've been listening to a lot of your podcasts. And again, where there's a similar mindset, which is interesting, there's still a different spin on it. And that's one thing for me that I've already learned a ton from everybody here, so I'm really pumped about that. But on the outside, when we look at the consolidated effort there for the entire audience that's going to be tapping into the industry syndicate over the next number of years, right? There's going to be a ton of value coming from this group, and it's really going to be where it's at. You know, so I'm glad to be part of it. I'm really here to help, again, people build that mind share. I'm here to not spin it in a way where it's sugar coated. I'm going to tell it to you straight, poke you in the forehead a little bit. But at the same time, it is about, you know, logical common sense of, does that really fit your plan? Is it really for you? And if you're going to go for it, let's figure out how to make it happen the best we can for you.
Yeah, unreal how you're showcasing, you know, that disconnect between all the things that you can actually do and why you're actually doing them. And I'm looking again at the different pieces of the puzzle that are on this call. And, you know, Dustin and Jason had a phenomenal cast where they were going through an entire Facebook lead ads that does produce results. I've been using it. It's phenomenal. But if somebody just jumped onto that without understanding the actual intent or how to convert on that, then it would be all for naught, right? So to connect, you know, a podcast where maybe they're listening to something, they hear something tangible from you about identifying that disconnect, or maybe they heard something from Chelsea about the why that led them to you, and then leads you to the actual tactile way of finishing it off with Dustin and Jason. I mean, it's unreal. There's not two people on this entire group that are identical carbon copies of each other. You're going to get different attitudes and different ways of approaching things, but I think the connection or the puzzle pieces coming together all at the same time are going to be truly something special. And something, you know, somebody that I've been watching very closely in this group, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, is the last one that we're going to be interviewing today is Mr. Josh Pitts. I saw the low life initially, and I thought, well, is this lowered cars? And then I understood the loan officer language, and the reason I didn't get it is in Canada, like I told the guys earlier, we don't have loan officers. We have basically we have mortgage brokers and we have banks, and they're always kind of going back and forth at it. But your podcast has been great. I've been watching a lot of your content. Great energy level, great guests. I love how you dig in, and it feels like you're sitting there having a fireside chat with somebody every time. Nothing feels scripted. It's the real deal. So Josh, give us the rundown of who you are and kind of what you're doing here.
What's up, man? Well, I'm first and foremost, thank you so much for. I'm not muted, am I?
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, I was like, now I saw this red thing going on.
No, you're fine.
But first and foremost, I'm very grateful and humbled to be here. And the Syndicate, this is something that I'm stoked about because I've been talking about this for years. And anybody that knows me or who watches my show knows this about me. I make up in enthusiasm what I lack in expertise and knowledge. Like, I'm just over the top when it comes to like energy. And there, you can see I am who I am. I have my hat backwards. They threw me in the industry syndicate because I'm the young, the millennial. I'm basically just trying to bring the average age down in this group.
Perfect.
That's a little tag for all you guys. But no, so my the daily LO life, I've been in the mortgage industry. Quick background on me, and this is a little bit something different with me, is I am actually a loan officer, producing, still in the field. I'm still closing loans. Just closed a $500,000 transaction yesterday.
Awesome.
Like, I'm still here in the trenches doing it, which is very, very different. Most people they're talking about, and no offense to that. I'm in the trenches. I understand what loan officers are going through. And a few months ago, I was down in Las Vegas at a big event. And I heard these incredible stories. As I was traveling the country, speaking, training, I was hearing these cool stories from mortgage professionals, real estate agents, loan officers. And I'm just like, you know what? I want to share these stories. And it's not just the famous, the celebrities in the real estate and the mortgage industry that had a cool story to tell. It was the underdogs. It was these loan officers, these real estate agents who were just crushing it in their local markets, who nobody was sharing their stories. So I'm like, well, hell, I'm just going to do a live show every single day, and I'm going to showcase these people. And the reason I decided to do it live is because I wanted to show people that you can be authentic. You don't have to have a studio production. You can sound like David Greenspan. By the way, he sounds incredible. That mic. Damn it, nice job.
It's unreal.
But you don't have to be a Steven Spielberg to put out content. Now, putting out content, putting out value, you absolutely have to put out value there. It can't just be random crap. You can't just be rambling on. You actually have to have something that your audience is like, wow, that's actually relevant to me. So that's what I did, is I heard these stories, and it was benefiting my life. So I said, I'm going to share these stories with the rest of the world. So we've had some great celebrities, and we've got some great producers. This morning we had Shashar. If you don't know Shosh, man, I mess up his name every time. Shashank Shekhar on our show this morning, who's on the Scotsman's Guide on the top 30 list. We have top producers who are actually sharing what they're doing within their business. Yeah. So that's the daily low life. A lot of people call it low life. It is the daily LO life, the loan officer life. And that's what we do. We do a live episode every single day, showcasing and highlighting those who are actually making it happen in their business. And I'm grateful to be part of the industry syndicate because, like everybody has said before me, this is something that has not been done. We're bringing the best of the best of the best into one spot so you can come and you can just absolutely hear everything that you need to know to absolutely dominate within your business.
That's awesome, Josh. I appreciate the rundown too, and it's something I wanted to know too, right? Like you got people that are from all walks of life. Some people have been in industries, they've been in and out of industries. There's people that are actively selling. I know Jazz and I are both still in the trenches. We both run teams in real estate and everything else. And it's funny to see the audience members that all you guys are getting on your podcast because it's a very wide variety. I mean, not only that, like I look at some people Jazz has had on recently, and I mean, I know he's launching a Scott McGilvery episode, I think on the 9th, so you guys are going to want to watch out for that one. He's a big name in Canada. Ryan Serhant was another name that was on his podcast and a few of the others. I see, Dustin, Jason, and Chelsea, big shout out for being at Agent 2021. Anybody that's on the internet knows who Gary Vee is now. You guys have been following his stuff for a long time, but you guys are actually speaking at the event. So, I mean, that speaks to the types of people that are actually putting out these podcasts. It's not Uncle Jimmy from his basement who read something or watched a YouTube video and is just regurgitating it. You're getting people that are practitioners, like Chelsea said, in the field, doing the work, and will be honest about what works and what doesn't work. I think it was Dustin that was talking about the new IG scroll feature that they came out. He put out a whole update about it. I was hiding under a rock somewhere. When I came back, they had already deleted it. Maybe they saw your post and Instagram took a feather from your cap and decided to delete it. But either way, I think, collectively this group's got some amazing people. We are missing a couple people. So I'll link everybody's shows below. I wanted to say I truly appreciate everybody for being on this cast today. I think it was super important for people to see you guys and meet you. See all your links below. Go follow their podcast. There's going to be so much more coming from the Industry Syndicate, but I'm forever grateful for being part of it, and I appreciate all of you guys for coming online.